Hey.
Hello.
All right, brother.
I'm very good. We're here with Craig Baxley at the Warriors' 45th anniversary. He credits for him is he's a stuntman, director, an author, and tell us the other.
I've been an actor, second-unit director. It's 45 years in the business, so
45 years. Yeah.
No, worked my way up, and luckiest man alive, actually.
You know what? You've had. It sounds like you've had a great career. I need to dive more into it, and we're going to do that. We're going to sit down and we're going to have an interview.
I look forward to it.
Okay.
All right.
Let's have a seat.
All right.
Hi, Craig. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm great. How you feeling? Are you happy to be here at Shield Theater for the 40th anniversary of the Warriors movie?
Yes, I'm thrilled. I was here 2 years ago, and there were only two punks here, and Jim, my agent, brought me here. And he said, listen, they're all going to be here in a couple of years. Why don't you come back? And he told me this year, so here I am.
Wonderful. Well, a special thanks to Jim, but that's great to hear that for sure. And we've got such a huge amount of cast members, probably the largest we've ever seen. So I'm really pleased.
I wish Jimmy Raymar was here. That would.
I know, James. I know. I've brought my vest to get signed. He's the only one I missed, but
he's a great guy.
He'll be around. Yeah, I'll probably find him. He does convince. He's a busy guy, but he's very nice.
He's working right now.
Yeah. So I've tried to do a bit of research. My understanding is you're a stunt coordinator of the movie. Now, we know there's lots of stunts. Can you start by telling us a little bit about one of my favorites, the Turnbull AC scene? My understanding is you were a driver, making you a Turnbull AC?
Well, actually, that wasn't planned.
Okay.
They had hired extras to be on the bus.
All right.
And the bus driver insisted that he drive the bus, and he was kind of a large guy with a beard, sort of portly, and it didn't quite work out. Mm-hmm. And he wouldn't let anybody else drive it, so we were basically shut down. Oh. And Walter said, talk to the guy. So I went and talked to him, and I explained to him I was a stunt coordinator. And he said, well, I'll let you drive it. But I obviously had some hair on my head. Mm-hmm. So at that time, a little bit more. But so I went and put a skull cap on and sunglasses and jumped in there. Like 5 minutes later, we did the shot and moved on. So,
wow. Was it, well, it looked like a lot of shots. Like to me, I think I counted, I could have been 20 or 30 shots of that bus going. So probably multiple times going.
Well, they had multiple cameras on it too.
Yes.
2 and 3 cameras. So yeah, it didn't take that long. But the guys, the extras were great. I made sure everyone was safe. And
it looked a bit crazy in the running up the staircase.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me bring any stuntmen back from California. Oh. So until the punks fight, and I brought a couple of guys back.
Okay.
But I had to utilize all the guys here, and at the time, the stunt guys in New York were a little long in the tooth. Nobody wanted to hit the ground. They wanted to know how much money they were going to make. So I went and found a bunch of young guys and made them my nucleus of stuntmen. There were like 10 of them, actually.
Really?
And Walter wanted to utilize the cast to do their own fights, not double anyone, which we did double Vermin into the Mayor and the Punks fight.
I understand that.
So I took the cast and these young guys and trained them, taught them all how to do a picture fight, and the rest is in the movie.
Oh, that's wonderful. It was a very intense scene, that bus coming in. We all wanted to fight with the Turnbulls, but it would have been great. My money might have been on the Turnbulls, I think.
Yeah.
I think the Warriors would have been squashed. Sorry to say that.
Well, just in numbers, there were so many of them.
In numbers, absolutely, yeah. No, it was phenomenal. It was really neat. I'm a big fan of the Turnbull ACs, and it just added the energy early in the movie. That's, oh boy, this is getting serious.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to jump back one. The conclave scene. What an incredible scene to put at the beginning of a movie. To me, it seemed almost like an organized chaos. It just seemed to work.
Absolutely.
Can you tell us anything about that? There's hundreds of people there, right?
Hundreds of extras, but a lot of them were gang members at the time.
I think I heard that.
And my issue was that I had hired Alan Olney, who doubled Eddie Murphy in Beverly Hills Cop, hanging off the back of the truck. He was going to double Cyrus because he was a world-class gymnast. Okay. And it was about a 15-foot fall through a platform into a judo mat. And you really had to have complete body control. You could really get hurt.
It was a big one.
And 2 days before the production man, John Stark, said, I can't afford it. I can't bring it back. And Walter wanted to obviously keep the stunt in.
It's a great stunt.
He said, no, you sold it to me. I want you to do that stunt. And so I actually put the wardrobe on and the makeup, and I did the stunt.
You did? Wow. I'm going to watch the film again. I don't know. You must have had a wig on, too, to be like Cyrus, right?
Oh, yeah.
Everything.
My hair was slicked back, and I was little darker than usual. And, it
How
was
far do you think the fall was?
the fall was about 12, 15 feet backwards.
Just a bit. Excuse me. No, move, please. Move, please. We're doing a video. It's okay.
No worries.
Sorry, in 5 minutes.
Into a 6-inch judo pad.
Thank you, Jim. Okay, yeah, it was quite a fall. It was incredible. I was at the conclave about 5 years ago. We're gonna go back and check it out. And it's a special place to be.
Yeah, it is.
It's really neat.
I think Riverside Park is too, where we did the Fury fight.
Yes, we were there 5 years ago too. We might go there. So yeah, I'll probably actually. I think that's my next question. The baseball Furies, arguably one of the best overall scenes. Lots of running, some great fight sequences. Can you tell us anything of the challenges of orchestrating all that?
No, I actually wrote everything in script form for the cast and the stuntmen. In fact, I have a copy here.
You do? Show it to the camera there.
Of everything. It's every punch exactly how it was done in the movie. And people are eating it up here. They love it. And if you look at this and watch the movie, you'll see every move that's in the movie on this list. And as I said, I wrote this, gave it to Walter. He was like, "This is great, man." So when I got there to do the Fury fight, he wanted me to direct the fight and set the cameras, which I did. And I did the same thing with the pump. So this was a lifesaver because the budget for the movie was under $4 million.
Really?
And it was a really fast shoot. So the fact that everyone knew exactly what they were going to do, I rehearsed it days before. We'd walk on the set and just do it.
So the night you did the fight scene, was it all one night, you think?
No.
No, I didn't think it was. It was quite a bit. So
and the lead-ups to it, the run. I love the shot coming over the hill, but the running, my new stunt guys would run out of gas because they weren't, marathon runners.
Fast.
So it was fast. So we brought in a running club and a couple of runners that, could do the job, and then my stunt guys stepped in.
I think I heard that. So in some scenes, they're actually a running club.
Yeah.
It was incredibly fast. You look at it, and they are booking it.
But Jerry Hewitt, who was my number one guy.
Yeah, Yellow Fury.
Yeah, he was actually giving balloon tours when I got here in New York. He didn't even have an SAT card.
Wow.
And he took to it. He could hit a trampoline like nobody. And he did the best picture fight of any of my guys, including my stunt guys I brought in for the punks fight. He was that good. And so Jerry became my point man for everything. And he actually did his own running.
So he was there running for everything.
Yeah, he was there.
Yeah, he
great guy.
Presence.
He's a great guy. He became great.
I met him 5 years ago.
Yeah, he became the Coen Brothers stunt coordinator and second unit director on most of their films.
Wow, that's great to hear. Yeah, he's kind of one of the most iconic faces of the movie, I think. Yeah. You see his face a lot, and people just know. Yeah, rest in peace, Jerry. He's a
wonderful human being.
Yeah, I remember him being very nice. Yeah, we had a good chat. Yeah, that's wonderful. Okay. Well, another great scene. There's a lot to it. The lizzies. I thought, first of all, it was really cool to see something where the actors were brought inside. It gave a different element. So, one thing I got to ask, one of my favorite parts is Cochise breaking through that door. Was it one take, and was it real glass?
No, and it was one take.
One take, not real glass. Though. I guess you can't, right? So it was intense, though.
Yeah. The mirror in the punks in the bathroom was candy glass too.
I get that. That's Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
So
you got to make it real.
Yeah. Okay. No, that was great. Were the girls fun to work with?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Everybody loved it. Everyone was young.
Yes.
Young and inexperienced. Yeah. They're all new. And so it was nice. And my thing was to set the cameras for Walter. Andy Laszlo was a brilliant DP, but to set the angles to really make them look better in the action.
Yeah.
That was my
thing. For sure. Yeah. No, I think the movie needed that transition at that point, other than just being outside, guys. And I mean, they're pretty girls. They're really nice. So yeah, definitely. Okay. So we know you played another role. The Turnbull was very short, but you have an iconic role as one of the punks. So I was saying I really enjoyed the tension building up as they followed the Warriors through the subway. So, and then we had that massive fight scene. What was that like? How challenging was that in that bathroom? You just mentioned the mirror there.
Well, it was a set. That's the only set we have in the film. And for me, I was kind of caught off guard because I sold Walter on the the leader being on roller skates because I'd done rollerball.
Conrad, yeah.
Yeah, but, well, at the time I was going to do it.
Oh,
Walter knew I did rollerball, so he said, "Why don't I put you on skates and make you the lead?"
did rollerball.
So I said sure at the time.
Yeah.
And then as we got closer, Walter said, "After what you did in the Furies, I want you to direct these fights, or set the cameras, really enhance everything." So I said sure. I said, "But I can't do it on skates."
Yeah.
So I said, "Well, somebody's got to be on skates." So I went and asked some of the stunt guys. Nobody skated, and then I found Conrad, and he said, "I can skate."
Yeah.
Well, I found out afterwards that he went out 2 days before we did it in Central Park with a guy and learned how to skate.
I didn't know.
So when we did the sequence, I was going to just go smoking down that ramp,
Yeah.
and go right up to the door, and do that. And Conrad, who I said, "I want you to go straight, do that straight down the ramp." And Conrad looked at me and said, "Well, I don't know if I can do that." And so he went down the ramp.
It was intense.
But what it did, oddly enough, instead of just it made more tension. It did. But when we did it, Walter said, "What the fuck was that?"
Really?
I said, "Well, I think it's pretty good. It's pretty intense." He said, "You said you were going to go straight down there." I said, "But I think this is what we're going to do." And he said, "Why?" I said, "That's what Conrad's comfortable with." So that's in the movie.
Yeah.
Conrad's
really
a wonderful guy. Absolutely wonderful.
Yes, I know Conrad. I've met him before. We had a chat. I absolutely love Conrad. Wonderful guy. And he commanded a good presence in that too, even though no words at all, but he just looked so serious.
Yeah, he'd never done a picture fight like everybody else. So
Yeah.
it looked pretty good in there.
Yeah, he did for sure.
One sec. Jim, are we okay? Jim, are we okay? Okay.
We're almost done. Almost done. Overall, was there anything in the movie you really enjoyed or disliked working on? It's a double question. But
You know what? It was a quick shoot. It was all nights. And at that time in Manhattan and New York, it wasn't a great place to be.
I heard.
In the 70s, it was pretty intense. I think the only thing I regret that we didn't do was I was going to jump the limousine, like the jumps I did in the Dukes of Hazzard.
Yes.
50 feet off the ground onto the beach.
Okay.
And we released all the stunt guys, and they kept me for 3 weeks to do that. And the day we were going to do it, Walter came up and said, "Listen, man, I'm losing light. I got a little behind. I really got to concentrate on, my end of the work. So I can't do the jump." I said, "No worries." So they released me, and I flew down to Georgia. And 2 days later, I did the first 2 jumps in the Dukes of Hazzard, 18 feet off the ground. Yeah.
Yeah, no, 2000 is incredible. That must have been something to work on. But when you said jump the limousine, you talking about the ropes?
Yeah.
Yeah. You were going to jump it where?
Onto the beach.
Onto the beach. Oh, boy.
This high.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with Dukes of
Yeah,
Hazzard.
it's going to be that high. And
My
Walter
Lord.
loved it. I had the ramp belt. We had a second limo all set up, suspension-wise and everything, and I had all my gear. I didn't have anybody there to really safety me, but I'd done enough of them. I'd done probably 10, 15 jumps before that, so I was cool with it. And I had some crew members that were going to help me get rid in the car.
I think it worked out fine.
Yeah.
I think it did. Okay, just
It's a great movie.
Couple more here. Well, plain and simple, what was it like working with Walter Hill?
Absolutely. The guy is absolutely brilliant. He wrote the original Alien.
I heard, yeah.
And he is just a wonderful guy to work with.
Excuse me, sir. Sir?
Excuse me. They're doing an interview. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Be 2 minutes. We're almost done.
Oh, we're just wondering.
Walter is amazing. I actually, after I did the Warriors, I went and did the Long Riders with him.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
I gotta watch that.
Northfield with the horses jump through the plate glass windows and then drags down the street.
I'm gonna look that one up.
Yeah, Walter's a wonderful guy to work for. Aside from that, he's a wonderful human being.
I've seen his interviews and he seems very genuine.
Oh, he's totally.
I would love to meet him someday and just tell him. How
I
much
can tell you, example, he's the complete opposite of, say, the guy that I worked with on Predator. Who's a good director, but Walter's a filmmaker's filmmaker. I mean, he is a great guy. He's like a Ridley Scott. He's
Really?
great.
Yeah, no, he's something special for sure. Do you have anything in particular that was a favorite in the movie?
I like the Punks fight.
Yeah, I think it's the best fight.
Yeah.
I actually think it's better than the Furies. Furies is fun. Punks was
It had more dimensions to it. Going through spot tramps through the stall doors. I put cameras in the wall so you couldn't see him, the body crashing through and stuff like that. It just had more energy to it. And, it was 1978. Things now are very different. And the first 3 movies I directed, Action Jackson, Stone Cold, I Come in Peace, had no CGI. Now everything's CGI.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of CGI.
No.
It has its place, but I like real stuff.
The bodies in the air are CGI, the fire is CGI.
Yeah.
And my problem is the guys are absolutely brilliant doing it, but they don't have the depth of field, and it's all like, it doesn't look real, like the fire especially. And if they add layers, depth and field, it would be more
The fire
organic.
in the orphans part was insane.
Well, that was a mistake. They made a mistake with that because the guy I walked up to him and I said, "Man, you got a lot of
Gasoline?
well and whatever pyrotechnics." And I said, "I think you should cable off the door and the hood." And this guy was like, I'm not going to mention his name, but he said, "Listen, kid," because I was young. I was younger than most of the warriors.
Yeah?
And he said, "Listen, kid, you don't tell me what I won't tell you what to do. You don't tell me what to do." When it went off, he almost killed some of the crew and some of the cast because he didn't cable off the doors, and one ended up on the roof.
I heard that. Yeah, it looked.
Yeah.
I think I heard David Harris say his ankle got a bit hurt from just the blast.
I made sure that he didn't blow it until they were to a certain point.
Okay.
But unbeknownst to me, they ran to that point and some of them stopped. They had to keep running.
Yeah.
And he blew it when they were at that point in his defense.
Yeah.
But it was way too much.
Okay.
But if he was going to do that much, he should have cabled off the elements for the sake of the crew and for the sake of the cast.
That's interesting to see.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll close it up here. Do you have any up and coming projects that you're working on, or anything you want to plug?
I have one that Stephen King he wrote as a short story, and then I wrote the screenplay and our names on it. And we've shot that. We had it set up, and then COVID hit, and it went away. And then we set it up again, and then the actors strike hit, and it went away.
Yeah.
So they're trying to set that up now. Rand Holston, Steve's agent, but he's writing another thing for me, I believe. And Netflix contacted us and wanted me to direct a pilot up in Savannah and do a limited series like I did. I directed Kingdom Hospital, but I directed every episode.
Oh, okay.
And it's that kind of thing, but a shorter shooting schedule. And we're waiting to hear back from them. The regime's changed over there, and the dynamics at Netflix has changed. So we're not sure what's happening. But I'm writing novels now, and I'm having a good time.
I think you have written.
Yeah.
Well, good luck with that. That's Netflix is a big platform. Do you want to speak about your novels at all, or?
Well, I've got a memoir.
Oh, you've got here. I didn't even see that yesterday.
Called Driven.
You want to show it? You show it to the camera there.
45 years in the business.
Apache. Hang on. We're just doing a video, Apache.
We've got Driven, which is 45 years in the business, and it's got some great stories in it, and it took off on Amazon, and I get emails, people that they read it and they give it to their kids, and I don't think the kids would know half the movies in it, and they pass it on to their kids, and everyone seems to be loving it, so
really?
It's doing really well. Then I've got my first novel that Stephen King read years ago, and he said, why don't you flip it to a novel. This just came out the 16th of this month. It's called Last Exit to Hell, which I think is pretty insane. I've got another one, Scalp Dance, comes out in August, and I've got another one, The Last Wave, and I've got like 3 more that are with my editor right now.
Oh, wow. So I guess we can Google to find your books. Well,
Yeah.
if you're here, you can pick it up here. I might have to check when it's out when I'm done the interview. Okay. Any parting words for the fans of the movie?
No, it was a pleasure, and I love what you're doing on YouTube. Your stuff is beautiful.
It means a lot to me.
Well, you're very passionate. You invest a lot of time in the show.
Yeah, well, thank you so much.
You're a good filmmaker.
That's really nice to hear. You're a good man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to wrap it up.
All right, brother.
Okay. All right,
Take
Craig.
care.
Appreciate it. Okay.